we proudly present Women Wrestling Wars. In this ongoing series, we delve into the enthralling world of WWE, dissecting the thrilling segments and matches from Raw, ECW, and SmackDown on a week-by-week basis. Our ultimate goal is to determine which brand consistently delivered the most riveting and entertaining content. Shane kicks off the show, visibly agitated. He claims DX has overstepped the line this time, jeopardizing his father's mental health.
They've hit a new low.
Shane announces that tonight, for the first time since reuniting, DX will compete in tag team action, though their opponents remain a mystery for now.
They don't need to know, nor do any of you.
The atmosphere intensifies as Edge and Lita storm out. Edge is furious about last week's incident where John Cena tossed him into the Long Island Sound. He demands that Shane take immediate action against Cena. A clip of last week's splashdown plays, fueling Edge's anger.
I want John Cena out of my life!
Just then, Cena makes his entrance, taunting Edge with reminders of his damp predicament.
You and me, that ends up in a happy ending for the rated R superstar.
Cena mocks the idea of his firing, suggesting that if he were let go, Edge's last memory would still be the humiliating dunk in the Sound. Cena can't resist a joke at Edge's expense.
Did you got $10? Think of the possibilities, man. Here comes the money! The hoe comes for money!
Cena counters with a tantalizing offer, a 3-year contract for SmackDown on the table, but only if Edge can defeat him in one more championship match. Edge eagerly accepts, with the caveat that he chooses the match type and venue.
Deal?
Deal.
On Raw, Carlito and Trish Stratus are seen engaged in a casual conversation, Carlito mentioning how he believes there's a lot of money to be made with boats and casinos.
I got a lot of ways to make money in the casino.
Yeah?
However, his tone shifts as he confronts Trish about something more urgent. He questions Trish about when she intended to inform him of a significant development he found out through WWE.com.
The leader says you're retiring after Unforgiven.
Trish confirms it's true, expressing regret that the news didn't come out in a better way. She admits she's been contemplating retirement for quite some time but didn't want the news to break in such an impersonal manner. Frustrated and emotional, Trish then bluntly calls Lita
The nosy bitch, get up in my business.
Oh, hey.
Carlito, in a more composed manner, tells Trish that it's cool and shows his support for her decision. Understanding the gravity of the moment, he softly says that if this is indeed a farewell, then he wishes her well with a heartfelt goodbye kiss. However, their moment is abruptly shattered when Randy Orton bursts onto the scene. Orton then singles out Carlito, violently tossing him into a wall before storming off, leaving chaos in his wake.
You gotta get your lick back. You gotta get your lick back. You know, I said you gotta get your lick back. My thing.
In a unique and highly theatrical
Paddle on a pole match.
Candice and Torrie Wilson faced off with high stakes and high energy. The match kicked off with Candice actually gaining the upper hand. Candice, however, quickly countered, ensnaring Torrie in the ropes to gain some breathing room. The action heated up with both competitors exchanging sharp chops, each fighting desperately to reach the paddle first. Amid the chaos, Candice tore off her shirt in a dramatic gesture, only to be met by Torrie's fierce response, a devastating powerbomb into the corner. Torrie then delivered a stink face, adding insult to injury. In a surprising twist, Candice bit Torrie in retaliation. Ultimately, Candice seized the moment, climbing to retrieve the paddle and claiming victory. However, the match's conclusion took an unexpected turn toward camaraderie rather than conflict. Instead of using the paddle on Torrie in vengeance, Candice handed it to Torrie, inviting her to deliver a playful spank, and the roles then reversed with Candice spanking Torrie, followed by a light-hearted spank on Torrie's pet dog who had joined them ringside. At a heated press conference, Johnny Nitro and Melina addressed the controversial decision to fire Mick Foley. Opening the press conference, Johnny Nitro justified their actions by emphasizing his status as the Intercontinental Champion and his relationship with Melina.
I'm the Intercontinental Champion. I'm everything.
Nitro flaunted his lifestyle and achievements, criticizing Foley for not being able to match his charisma or success.
I go home. I get freaky with Melina.
He taunted Foley by claiming that his fantasies about a life like Nitro's were as close as he would ever get, declaring Melina was out of Foley's league and calling him a quitter. Melina took the microphone with a fiery speech,
Much a quitter. He's more like an ass kisser.
attacking Foley's character and accusing him of being sycophantic towards authority figures and fans alike. She disparaged Foley's infatuation with her as pathetic and embarrassing,
Disgusting creep who's hitting middle age, and he fell for me. That's not my fault.
highlighting the absurdity of his supposed schoolboy crush. Melina ridiculed the mundane aspects of Foley's life, like driving a minivan, to emphasize the gap between their glamorous lifestyle and his. She sternly placed herself and Nitro on a pedestal far above Foley, both personally and professionally.
I would never associate myself with regular people like you.
Nitro concluded the press conference with a scornful farewell to Foley's career, suggesting he stick to writing blogs while Nitro ascends to new heights in the industry. He proudly stated that both he and Melina are the pinnacle of excitement on Raw and boldly claimed the title of the future of sports entertainment.
Enjoy your 19th retirement.
2 weeks ago on Raw.
Bitch, come get it back in blood.
Now in an intense WWE Women's title match, reigning champion Lita defended her title against the formidable Mickie James. As soon as the bell rang, Mickie charged at Lita. Lita quickly took control, pulling Mickie out of the ring and slamming her against the apron before throwing her back into the squared circle. Lita attempted a quick pin, managing only a 2 count. Undeterred, Lita targeted Mickie's knee, wrapping it around the ropes in a strategic move to slow her down. Lita continued her offensive with a series of rights and kicks, culminating in slamming Mickie's face into the mat and taunting her with a pie face. However, Mickie's resilience shone through as she fought back, landing a powerful enziguri that nearly clinched her the championship. Mickie kept the pressure on with a clothesline and a dynamic dropkick, followed by a monkey flip that sent Lita reeling. The momentum seemed to be with Mickie as she delivered jabs and a big right hand, then a fisherman's suplex that again brought her close to victory. In a desperate attempt to retain her title, Lita grabbed the championship belt. However, the referee intervened. This distraction allowed Mickie to execute a roll-up. Lita managed to kick out. Mickie continued with aggressive forearms and an elbow, but as she went for a Hurricane Rana, Lita cleverly countered and leveraged the ropes for extra support, securing a controversial pinfall to retain her title. On ECW, Balls was set to address the audience. However, before he could get a word in, Kelly unexpectedly appeared, explaining that she was looking for Mike Knox's
boyfriend,
and hadn't been able to find him. In an attempt to get some help, Kelly decided to show Balls her puppies. This unexpected move left Balls Mahoney completely speechless, throwing off whatever he had planned to say.
Wow. Want everybody to sing along.
We can do that. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker, boppity bop. I like the way that you boppity bop. Boppity bop.
On a poignant episode of SmackDown, Rey Mysterio came out to the ring to address the audience, visibly emotional and apologetic. He admitted that he was not in his best form, describing the previous week as the lowest point in his professional wrestling career.
Vickie Guerrero owes me an explanation.
With confusion and hurt evident in his voice, Rey expressed his need for an explanation from Vickie Guerrero concerning recent troubling events. As Rey made his heartfelt plea,
"And face me like a man."
Vickie Guerrero made her entrance, quickly setting a stern tone. She declared her intent to move forward and not dwell on past grief.
It's time to move on.
Vickie candidly stated that while Eddie Guerrero had considered Rey as a brother, she now viewed Rey as an insignificant chapter in her own past, a chapter she was ready to close, further solidifying her new path.
And make me first. It doesn't include you, Rey.
Vickie announced her new role as the business manager for Chavo Guerrero. The crowd reacted with chants of Eddie, which only heightened the emotional intensity of the moment. In response to the chants, Vickie delivered a sharp slap to Rey Mysterio. The slap left Rey feigning tears, a mixture of shock and sorrow on his face as he processed the betrayal and harsh words from someone he had once considered family. The segment ended with Vickie and the new version of Los Guerreros convening on the ramp, leaving Rey alone in the ring to absorb the heartbreaking turn of events. After an intense tag team match between Paul London and Brian Kendrick and the PitBulls, chaos erupted. Just as London and Kendrick were celebrating their hard-fought victory, the teacher's pet stormed the ring, launching a vicious surprise attack. It executed a devastating double brainbuster on London. They then turned their attention to Kendrick, delivering a brutal double DDT that knocked him out cold. The teacher's pet stood tall over the fallen champions, sending a clear message. The ring was set for a highly anticipated contract signing. With Theodore Long overseeing the proceedings, King Booker, ever the regal performer, addressed his loyal subjects. The crowd erupted in cheers as Dave made his entrance, looking sharp in a suit. King Booker, declaring the rematch to be nothing more than a sham. He ridiculed Dave, calling him a fraud, reminding everyone that Dave couldn't defeat him at SummerSlam.
Should even breathe the same air, scoundrel.
When Dave attempted to speak, King Booker rudely interrupted, insisting that he never lost the gold to Dave.
I will hit your head on a platter.
Despite Booker's ranting, he eventually signed the contract. Dave, maintaining his composure, pointed out that Booker never actually beat him for the championship. Ignoring Dave's statement, Booker continued to boast. As tensions boiled over, King Booker took a swing at Dave but missed. Seizing the moment, Dave delivered a spinebuster. Determined, Dave executed another spinebuster, this time successfully breaking the table, leaving King Booker sprawled in the wreckage as the crowd roared in approval. The contract signing ended with Dave standing tall, setting the stage for their explosive rematch. Rankings and recap for the latest episode. Raw, 5 points. The episode kicks off with a dramatic segment where Edge and Lita throw John Cena's WWE Championship into the sea. This move fuels their intense rivalry with Cena. Jeff Hardy returns and attacks Edge. Jeff Hardy's return is a significant moment, reigniting his feud with Edge, which has deep roots due to Edge's history with Team Extreme and Matt Hardy. Trish Stratus defeats Victoria. This match marks the conclusion of their long-standing rivalry. adding a satisfying closure to their storied feud. Edge with Lita versus Jeff Hardy. John Cena interferes, causing a DQ and throwing Edge into the sea. The involvement of Cena and Lita heightens the drama, making this a standout moment despite the DQ finish. Melina thanks Mick Foley for saving her against Ric Flair. This segment sets up a storyline that pays off later in the night. John Morrison with Melina versus Kane for the Intercontinental Championship. The match is interrupted by Umaga, resulting in another DQ, which adds tension but contributes to an excessive number of DQs. Mick Foley joins Vince McMahon's club. Melina turns on Foley. He adds depth to her character and creates a significant plot twist, leading to Foley's firing. ECW, 3 points. Kelly versus Torrie Wilson, Extreme Bikini Contest. This segment capitalizes on ECW's edgy appeal and sets the stage for Kelly's in-ring debut. Kelly, Test and Mike Knox versus Torrie Wilson, Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman. Although Kelly refuses to tag in, making fans wait for her full in-ring debut, the match continues her storyline with Test and Knox. Kevin Thorne with Ariel versus Balls Mahoney, Extreme Rules match. Ariel's interference marks her first significant involvement as a manager, helping Kevin Thorne secure the win. SmackDown, 5 points. King Booker and Queen Sharmell Knight Regal and Finlay, Batista and Lashley attack. This segment culminates in Teddy Long setting up a 3-on-2 handicap match, showcasing the show's top stars. Ashley and The Miz talk about Layla's upcoming debut. This builds anticipation for Layla's debut. The Miz takes over Layla's WWE debut. Layla's quick debut also highlights The Miz's growing cockiness. Vickie Guerrero attacks Rey Mysterio and turns heel, siding with Chavo. Vickie's shocking heel turn by attacking Rey Mysterio and siding with Chavo Guerrero adds a dramatic twist to the ongoing storyline. KC James with Michelle McCool and Idol Stevens versus Paul London with Brian Kendrick. The match ends in a DQ due to an attack by the PitBulls, again highlighting Michelle McCool's managerial role and adding intrigue to the tag team division. Crystal defeats Jillian Hall. This surprisingly good match showcases the growing talent of the women's division on SmackDown. King Booker, Regal and Finlay with Sharmell versus Batista and Lashley in a 3-on-2 handicap match. Despite losing, this main event features top talent and high-stakes action, reinforcing the show's competitive atmosphere. This last episode saw very intense competition among the brands. Raw and SmackDown both delivered strong shows, highlighting their women's divisions and advancing key storylines, causing both brands to get 5 this week. Very rare, do not expect ties often. Raw, 53 points. SmackDown, 28 points. ECW, 21 points.